You've been blaming everything outside of you, the place, the person, the situation, the timing. But what if I told you that what you're living in right now, your life, your reality, you built that? And I'm not saying that to make you feel bad. I'm telling you that because if you can create that, you can create the reality that you desire. But with great power comes great responsibility, and most people don't want that power. People want to create the reality they desire. They want what they want, but they don't actually want to take control over their life. They don't want the authority. They don't want the responsibility. A lot of people fall into that victim mindset, blaming everything and everybody but themselves, because it's easier that way. And it's not always our fault, because a lot of that is instilled in us at young ages, or we just picked up on habits or behaviors or belief systems of others. But if you truly want to create your reality, you have to take back the power over your life. You have to become sovereign. You have to have authority over your life. And you have to look at what you created and what you built so far unintentionally, and decide that you did that you built that you created that because you did. And you have to say, you know what, I'm going to create intentionally with attention and awareness, because that is where you create your reality from, a place of awareness. So a lot of people are living on autopilot. You know, we have old belief systems running in the background, things that we learned from childhood, you know, things that we picked up on. Things may not have been said, but we adopted those behaviors, those mindsets, and those beliefs. And then we get older, we get into our lives, and we want to just blame everything because I'm perfect and the world is fucked up. So the world needs to fix itself, and then my life will be better. And by believing things like that and living a life, you feel like, oh, you're escaping the responsibility, but not at all, because you can never escape the law. And we have the law of correspondence that says, as within, so without, as above, so below. So what you are creating internally reflects your life. It reflects in your life. So when you are on autopilot with this victim mindset, you are giving your authority to everything else to control your life, to shape your life for you, because regardless, you are still creating your reality. And when people want to change and manifest and shift, they want to do all the practices, they want to do all of those things without going to source. If you want to change your reality, don't you think that you have to change your reality? Like, you have to change your reality, and that starts within. So when we're in this victim mindset and we're blaming the world and we're blaming everyone and everything else and giving our power away, our reality is still being created. Our belief systems are still the output, you know. And a lot of people they can't fathom that, you know, the life that they have, that they did this. They have to blame someone because they don't like the reality. You don't like your reality. So if you want to change it, one of the first things you're going to have to do is go to that mirror. You're going to have to go to that mirror. You're going to have to look within, and you're going to have to figure out, what am I doing within? Who am I within? What are my belief systems? You're going to have to audit your life. You know, you're going to have to start looking for the constants in your life, not one-off situations, but you have to look at what repeatedly shows up into your life, because those are messages. It's not punishment or anything like that. It's messages. It's saying, hey, this is what you're feeling. This is what you're expressing. This is what you're believing. This is what you're putting out. This is what you're going to get back. You know, your relationships with others reflect the relationship that you have with yourself. So if you keep running into people who don't show up for you fully, maybe you want to look within yourself and check on how you're showing up for yourself. Your relationship with abundance. If you grew up and money was scarce, or you just didn't see money, or you saw people struggling, maybe no one said we were broke or we didn't have, but you picked that up in your belief system. So now with money, you're scared to take risks to get more money, or you save every little penny and it's still not enough, or you just always telling yourself, well, I don't have enough, or you have a lack mindset. That's where reality creation comes from. When I say you are source, I mean that you are source whether you want to be or not. When you truly understand that regardless of what you try to run from or escape from, you are creating your reality unintentionally or intentionally. Unintentionally or intentionally. So why not wake up and start making those choices to create your reality intentionally, with attention, with awareness. Like I said, awareness is where you're going to create from. You have to be able to look at yourself, observe yourself, take a step back from yourself and see who you are, so that you continue to become who you desire to be and to live in that reality. You have created this mess of a life. And I'm not saying your life is a mess, but I'm just saying if you feel like your life is a mess, you've created this mess of a life. You can create a life with balance, with peace, with stability. It won't be an overnight process, but you can do it. Start small. Like I said, start checking yourself, seeing where things are repeating themselves and coming up into your life. And look at those things as reflections, because if you are going through life and you're on autopilot and you're not paying attention to anything and you don't care, you just want to escape, a system is running. Your source code is running. And it's usually old belief systems, things that you don't really want to show up in your life, the thing that you are running from, because you can't run. You can't outrun law. You can't outrun the universal law. You can't outrun yourself. Whatever you're running from, it's within and you're producing it. So it doesn't matter where you go, who you're with, what you wear, how you change your hair, any of those things. None of the outside matters if you don't work on the inside first. So everybody wants to have these manifestation techniques, and they want to do the scripting, and they want to do the affirmations and the subliminals and all of these things. Those things cannot work without a solid foundation. Those things cannot work without source first being activated. You're running on old programs. The person you're becoming hasn't been activated yet. You're trying to shift your reality without shifting within. So it seems scary and it may feel that way, and that's okay. But in order to create your reality, you have to tap into source, and you have to tap into your belief systems. You have to be willing to go into yourself and change things from within. And one of the first things you're going to have to do is look at your current life. Look at the current situations you're in. Start keeping track of things. You're scripting affirmations and you're scripting for the new life, and that's cool. But start journaling the shit you don't like too. Start writing it down. Start keeping a tally. Not like one-off situations. Like I said, you want to see what's constantly repeating, because life is what you make it. It's all about how you look at it. So if you're someone, we'll give two people as an example. All right, we have two people, same situation. They both got fired from their job. One person is going to take a deep breath, feel what's going on, observe what's going on, and move on and say, what opportunities is opening up for me? What door is this opening up for me? Where, what is this for? Then you're going to have another person, same situation, living in complete panic and not knowing what to do and spending months depressed and sad and all of that, because those two people are living in the same real reality, but with two different internal realities. One person has created a belief system that says, I am going to be okay and things are going to work out for me. And I'm willing to let things work out for me, regardless of how that has to happen. Because sometimes getting fired from a job might be the intro to starting that $1 million business. Sometimes being fired from a job might inspire that hit single song. Sometimes being fired from a job might send you to go travel and you meet the love of your life. But if you're crawled up in the bed for weeks and months crying and sad, what are we doing? You're letting something else create your reality. Because right there, when something happens in this world, the next thought, the next move is where you create your reality from. It's saying, okay, this happened. Now let's see how wonderful it can get. Like, let's see what is gonna happen here. Like, let's what all the wonderful things that could come into my life right now. Like, what can happen? That is where you create your reality from. But if your internal belief system isn't there, if you're not there, it's going to be a constant loop and a constant cycle. So maybe look at the places where you're getting disappointed a lot, and then ask myself, why am I getting disappointed, and what am I missing here? Because this keeps showing up, this keeps happening, and it keeps disappointing me, and I'm mad at the world about it. But hold up, I'm creating this reality. I'm creating this reoccurring event. So what is it that I'm missing? What do I get from this? And if I shifted my focus, if I shifted my attention, what could I see? What could come from this? When I talk about being source, it is not just I can manifest anything. I could bring $10,000 into my reality because I can. I can bring it in right now if I want to, because I said that. That's what I believe, right? But it's about your true belief system. It's about your operating system within. Because I could say that, because there was once a person like me, a version of me. There was once a person existing, a version of me that would have said that, and it would have sent my whole body into a panic, because I would have been like, how am I going to get, what, no, wait, hold on, this isn't, because my belief system says that that's not a possibility, right? That old belief system said that's not a possibility. As within, so without, because I didn't believe that was the possibility. My body could not regulate it. My mind could not process it. My subconscious rejected it. The universe said, okay, nothing is in agreement. Nothing is in alignment. It doesn't make sense to you. I'm going to give you exactly what you put out. You're not getting $10,000 overnight, right? And I could go on with my life now with that belief system. Like, you know what? I can get $10,000 right now, overnight. And I know that right now is a moment. So maybe not today, but I know in a week that money could just drop, or tomorrow, or right now, because I have a belief system knowing that if I say something can happen, it will happen. It has happened. It will happen, right? I have a strong belief system within myself. And that is where I manifest from. That is where I create from. If you're asking people like, how do you get this life? They have a very strong belief system, and they believe what they say. But on the other end of that, we all have a strong belief system, because again, the reality that you're living in now, you created that. You have a strong belief system. It is just what you're telling yourself. It's what you're believing. It's what you have programmed in there. So before you go on your next manifestation journey, you need to do some work with source. You need to start paying attention in your current life. If you want to take power and authority, you have to accept the fact that what has happened so far and where you are so far, you created that. You did that. You survived. But now it's time to stop surviving and to start thriving. So I want you to take this. I want you to listen to what I've said. And I want you to go get that journal, notebook, little dollar notebook, whatever. Start writing down things, not just scripting. I want you to do the actual work that needs to be done so that you can create your reality, because you can. But there is work to be done first. Faith without work is dead. You can believe that you're this rich, beautiful, amazing, whatever you want to be. But if you don't get up and live that, then it ain't gonna add up. And people see rich, beautiful, amazing and think, oh, fabulous, fabulous. No, rich, beautiful, amazing means getting up and auditing your life. Seeing, okay, this is what I did last week. This is what I have to do this week. It means going to the gym when you don't feel like it. Means taking the risk of money. It means getting into action, having motion. What I tell y'all, over here we have heavy motion when it comes to our own life and our own creation. I control the traffic. I say red light, green light, yellow light. And of course, I am working with the universe. I'm not, but I still say yellow light, red light, green light. And then we take off, we go. So take these words, figure out what it is in your life that has got you here this far, and where you need to adjust, change, where you need to place your attention, because you've created this reality you have so far. But you can create a new reality with some attention, and some awareness. You can create whatever reality you want. You are source. So whether you want to accept it or not, you are creating your reality. So why don't you just have sovereignty over your life, take the power back, take the authority, and create your life from where you are, because you are source, and you can have whatever you want, whatever you desire. If it can be imagined, it can exist in the physical realm. It truly can. So I love you. It's so wavy. This is I Am Source, and I will see you guys on my next video. Like, subscribe, comment, and always go to my description. I have a daily question that kind of goes along with the video that I would like for you to answer in the comments, so that we can all engage and talk with each other, because this is a space of creation, creating reality, creating community, just creating, because that's really what life is about: creating connection, community. So I love you. Mwah. Wavy out. I was gonna blow my candle, but I'm gonna let it go because that's creative energy. So we gonna rock out with our cacao. Put my glasses on. Y'all don't even know I could see this whole time. I'm just up here staring, looking at something.